Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. And what you're looking at is what I consider the worst carb in the world. This bike, this all-terrain vehicle, came through with the non-clone version of this. And there were a couple of things I don't like about it. First of all, the throttle is, I call it a vacuum throttle. So I never cared for those, always disliked them, and sure enough, this carb did not disappoint me. So that's strike one. Strike two for this carb, see this plunger style choke. What it uses is a richening circuit, another pathway for more fuel to go to the carb when the choke's on, and when you close it off, it turns off that pathway. So that's the way that carb works, and quite honestly, it's just not working out for me on this Bear Tracker 250. It's just, the carb's all over the place. It's too rich, it's too lean, it's a mess. So this was a $35 waste of money. Once again, it's horrible. And it was really stupid on my part because I didn't stick with the tried and true. And what's the tried and true? A Kevin PZ27 or a PZ30. And they're the carburetors. I mean, you guys should recognize this quite well. They're the carburetors that go on all the Honda 250s. The PZ30 is the bigger version of that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop fooling around trying to do things too correctly, and I'm going to go with a PZ30. Unfortunately, the manifold I'm going to build for it. This is great for the PZ27, but for the PZ30, it's going to restrict some of my flow. And even on the input here, it's going to restrict my flow a little bit. But I don't think that's going to be that big a problem. I mean, this thing is not going out to race. So if instead of, what is this thing good for? Probably about 35. If instead of 35 it winds up and runs out of steam somewhere around 25, who cares? I had it out with that one, and the way this thing is geared, it seemed to have more than enough power, so even if it loses a little bit, it should not be a problem. This one here is also taller, seems taller in the saddle than a lot of the stuff I've ridden lately, so bringing the power down a little bit might not be the worst thing. And if I do it and it doesn't work out, we can always go back to the drawing board. So in this video, I'm going to take a few minutes to show you how I actually make the adapters. One of the first things you need to do is buy this. And this is a 1 1/4 inch, right? Copper sweat to 3/4 inch adapter. And hopefully you guys are able to read that. There you go, see it right there. 1 1/4 to 3/4 inch copper adapter. Fitting reducer, and this is sweat to sweat. When you go to a plumbing supply store, if you say copper sweat 1 1/4 down to 3/4 adapter, they'll be impressed with you. I bought this at Home Depot, and I think it was like $7.50. So that's the first thing you need. What I want to do now is create a plate such that I can take this and hook it up to here. So what I did is I measured the distance between these two holes here, center to center, which took a little bit of kind of finagling, and I think you guys could see it here, right? I got like 47.5. So what I did is, you know, I took the calipers and a pen, and I might have bumped it by now, but kind of set it up so that in between those two, you see 47.5. Put the carburetor down on it. And I'm gonna hope you guys could see the dots centered in the holes there. I think maybe. Anyway, take my word for it. They're centered in the holes there. And this is now my template. I also know by looking at this that this hole is centered in between those. So it's a matter of using the graph paper to just figure out where that center is. Did some measurements. This is 25 millimeters outside diameter. So I'm going to end up drilling a hole here in the center of that, and it's going to go right on. What material to use? I mean, you could use copper or brass. It's nice and windy outside, which will slow me down. I got these at P&T Surplus. It said I paid $4 for this one. $15 for this one, but this is heavy. This is really thick. I think I'm going to start out with the thinner one. And all I'm going to do is transfer this pattern onto here. Now remember, when you do this, you want to do it such that you have the least amount of cutting to do, because who wants to waste brass, right? Brass is not free. Just takes a moment to kind of orient oneself so that one really can minimize your cutting, right? Just like that. And what I'll do is I'll probably cut out the template and set it up. To make sure you put the holes right where you want them to be, just for a laugh. If I wanted to put that hole there, right, I'm just going to give it a, and you see you got the little divot, and you just drill where that divot is. To drill out this hole, the bigger one, I have a step drill. I have the bigger version of this, right? I like using these to drill out particularly the center hole because they're self-centering, right? If you keep going up a drill bit size, they have a tendency to wander around. The way these are tapered, they self-center beautifully. So here we have it marked up, taped down, and I already hit it with the center punch or the drill punch to make sure that the holes are going to end up in the right place. So now it's just a matter of going downstairs and drilling it. I would not cut it out before all the holes are drilled and you have it exactly like you want it. If you are good, I tend to cut it out with the grinder. Grinding brass, aluminum, copper, not the easiest thing to do, but that's the way I do it. It seems to put less torque on the metal, and it seems to like that better, so my choice. Probably what I'm also going to do, I'm going to drill this and drill that, probably 1/8 inch, maybe just slightly bigger, and I'm going to screw it down to a piece of wood like this. right? Because it makes it easier to hang on to, which is one thing. And the other thing, as you're drilling this with the step bit, you want to have some material for the step bit to go into. The step bits end up being pretty long, right? If I were to drill this all the way to the maximum, right? I don't even have enough here. So I mean, that's the way I do it. By being able to keep one's hand on this, keeps you from tilting and making a mess out of things. Because look, when all is said and done, you don't have a whole load of material. Obviously, I put this down such that there's a little extra all around it. But once again, there's not a whole ton of material there. And you don't want to leave all that much behind, right? We want to make it nice and neat. So, you really want to drill as accurately as you can. Okay, tubers, we're going to try some one-handed machining here. And it keeps doing this as it goes through one step after the next of the bit. And I gotta clear it, so just wanted to show you a little bit. And you'll see it when it's done. So folks, here we have it. So I got the flange soldered onto the adapter. And then I just put some wire around it to take up a little bit more of the space into here, right? I don't want it loose. And then what I'm going to do is just put a couple of whorls of tape around there to make sure that the corkscrew, so to speak, sealed well to the flange on the bike. Bolt this up right here, and we should be ready to go. So here we have it. The PZ30 is all in there, ready to go. And got a gas tank on it. Got the key in it. Got a neutral light. Let's see what it wants to do. Make sure that I'm showing you something, not just my sweatshirt. So choke on. Boy, right up front I like this better than the other one. Idle's nice. No smoke. I can see how much gas I have in the gas tank. Let me put the seat on, we'll take this thing for a little rip. So I let it idle for a few minutes, threw a little more gas into it. So I don't want to have to walk home like yesterday. Use an upshift pattern. I don't have an air filter on it, so it might sound like it's sucking wind a little. Seems smooth enough. Yeah, warm, so. Got it up to third. Oh, We're not going to play stally here, are we? Oh, that ain't good. Got stuff falling apart. I hope this ain't the second time I've had to walk home with this rig. That would make me cranky. Oh, this thing, she no like me. Yeah, let's try it this way. I might have the idle too well. Run in there real quick too. Hopefully the camera action isn't too mean. I shouldn't be rocking this with one hand. The clutch seems yesterday was shifting easy. Today the clutch seems to be a little grabby. Strange. They normally get better the more they're out and moving. Sounds good. Yeah, you see it's like funky here. The clutch is working nice. I really have no automatic clutch. I got the typical. But I got no automatic. I'm going to have to adjust that. Growing on me a little bit. Not a Honda though. As it stalls. At least we made it back. I'm also running chainsaw gas in it till I'm sure the motor's nice and loose, so next tank will be real gas. Anyway, this is better than the last carb. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out there and ride yourself a quad today. Bye now.